Nah, somebody got to be held accountable for this.
You know why they stayed as a country?
What?
They were attracted by the blame the colonial left behind.
The
The roads, the hospitals, the schools, the post office,
100%, man.
department, the buses with air conditioning from London imported to their country, the railway lines, all the beautiful things. Why didn't you live here? It's not because you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't hate the white man and you weren't afraid of him.
We gonna learn. We gonna learn. But somebody got to be held accountable. What's good? What they do? It's your boy Purple Lips. Ain't broke no more. To the most, all praise to the Most High. Welcome back to the ABN movement. This African man said that Black Americans are lost and they have no culture. Ain't gonna lie, I had to make a part 2 about this. I probably have to make a few videos about this. This was an important conversation.
I want to ask, like, so where did you get your definition of culture?
Well, my background is mass comm journalism. And if you do advanced mass comm journalism, of course, you're going to do multicultural understanding. And in the study of multicultural differences in understanding, of course, you study how languages were developed, what it meant for people, and so on and so forth. And it's the first thing that allows you to understand how to interact when you move from one place to go to another place. So through that, and then of course my column for 13 years was life and culture. I didn't report on politics, economics, or war. I reported on life and culture. It allowed me to study, and I realized, how would I know? I began to compare it, okay, to where I'm coming from. And I said, something went wrong. I would give me just a little bit to explain something. You know where my interest as a Black man became piqued after traveling the world, when I began to hear the slogans we create, the narratives we create. Okay, I was speaking in Kenya on a university campus. One young man got up and told me how I missed the point about why Kenya is the way it is, and blamed the white man who came to take their culture and stop them from speaking their local languages and gave us Christianity. Oh, he went down the laundry list of things that happened to them, and it's still happening. So I said, wow,
100%.
You are a brilliant man. I've never met anyone who have made this list, but I have only one question. Why did it work?
For real.
And that is what we refuse to ask ourselves. So we always say that they did this to us. They did this to us. But we never ask ourselves, why did it work? See, I've been to Caribbean.
That's real.
I've been to many cities in the United States. I've lived in the UK. I've seen Blacks in the UK. I've seen Black in China. I've seen Blacks in almost every corner of the world. And I've seen Blacks in America and on the continent. And everything we are describing is uniform about us. You really think that the largest number of people on earth in terms of countries, 54 in one continent, about 10 or 13 in the Caribbean, Black groups in the UK, in China, in America.
He's right though.
And we are all suffering that psychological warfare and responding to it for years? Nothing in the world, use any probability, has ever tossed a coin and it fell on its head 9 times out of 10. Impossible. We need to re-examine us as Black people.
Nah, that's real. I ain't gonna lie. That's a psychological thing, man. You know, it's something we battle within because we always blaming somebody else. And at some point, you got to make changes. You know what I'm saying? We got to at least, you know, look at the past as a past for what it is and create our new legacies. You know what I mean? Because if we're not happy with the outcomes that we having right now because of the past, at some point, we got to go ahead and take a stand and have our own identity that we believe in, we stand for, that we're passionate about, that we, you know, we all got to have one good culture, that we build a culture. We have to build a culture that we're happy and that we can stand by of what we stand for. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you can't keep blaming other people. You got to build from within.
What is it? And it's nothing we are saying. Because if it is true, and there's something really wrong first with us. Let me tell you something. That's real. Korea, nobody. It's a miracle that Korea is what it is today. It is the only country in the world, or in Asia, let me just speak, that has never waged war.
If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Do me a favor and like the video. Drop your thoughts in the comments and subscribe. We post 4 times a week. Join the ABN movement. Ain't broke no more. Thank you.
They call them inferior by the Japanese, but Mongolians, Chinese.
It's real.
They were bullied and they were invaded, colonized, tortured for hundreds of years. Why didn't it work on them?
That's real.
The Jews went into slavery, the globe, 4,000 years in the diaspora. In Egypt, in Baghdad, which was formerly Babylon. When they were in Europe, what was the name? The Aryan race through the Nazi organization said they were. Jews are inferior. It's what they said over and again to German kids.
That's real.
When they arrived in
You're not
America,
lying.
Sammy Davis had a joke. He said he was getting on the bus in Montgomery. The driver told him to get to the back of the bus. He said, "No, you don't understand. I'm a Jew." He said, "Oh, get off the bus then." In 1977, a black man bought a home in Westport, Connecticut before a Jew. Jews were not allowed to rent or buy a home in Greenwich, in Westport, in Darien.
Now look at them.
It's a story Donald Trump had to build the first golf course when he became aware that Jews and blacks were not allowed to play in golf courses. Jews had it tough in this country through redlining, where they were not allowed to set up businesses, so they were forced to compete and start looting themselves from within. It didn't happen to them for 1,000 years, longer than we were enslaved or colonization. So the question you need to ask is, if they did all these things against us, why did it work?
That's a real question. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Because like at the end of the day, the Jews, look where they are now. And now we got to just ask ourselves at this point, you know, when are we going to hold ourselves accountable? Are we just committed to expressing pain, or are we ready to build systems? You know what I'm saying? Are we ready to build a system for ourselves, a culture that we actually could stand behind, a culture that we believe in? Or are we just going to continue to commit to expressing our pain? You know what I mean?
Let me give you one thing to the response I said earlier. Why African Americans didn't leave after slavery. Not because there was no place to go to. That is completely a lie. Ask yourself, the Ashantis knew that they were the most powerful tribe in Ghana, followed by the Airways, the Gans, the Chuis, Akwamus, everybody. They knew that they didn't form the country Ghana, that they were forced, okay? But it came to an end. For Ghana, 1957. Why didn't they go back to become the individual tribes they were? Was there anybody there telling them you can't? No. You know why they stayed as a country?
Why?
They were attracted by the blame the colonial left behind. The roads, the hospitals, the schools, the post office,
100%,
the fire
man.
department, the buses with air conditioning from London imported to their country, the railway lines, all the beautiful things. Why didn't you live here? It's not because you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
It's because you didn't hate the white man and you weren't afraid of him.
I think
Not at
you're
all.
eliminating the fact that we built.
Hold on, before Drew start, nah, you can't just look over what he said, because this isn't about copying another culture or tearing down our culture. You know what I'm saying? It's about deciding to stand on something that collectively, you know what I'm saying? With stand on something collectively of values, of standards, of family structures, of accountability, and protecting it for long term. You know what I'm saying? So that a culture isn't just music or slang or fashion. Culture is actually survive when trends fade. You know what I'm saying? That's when we gotta actually build a culture that matters. And that's what he's basically saying. A culture that doesn't fade away. You can't get rid of the language that's spoken. You can't get rid of the religion that they preach and believe in. You cannot get rid of the music or the way they dance. So you can't get rid of their culture. You know what I'm saying? This is what this group of people stand for. And you know, it's not about bashing Americans. It's a real conversation, man.
Blood, sweat, tears, deaths, you know, so much. We are the biggest innovators. We built America. Why give up everything we built?
That's a good question.
America wouldn't exist off the pains and struggles of Black Americans. You don't just give that up. We also, with asking your question, we do also ask, why didn't Africans or other Caribbean people or other nations join us and make us a bigger nation?
These are valid questions.
In America, we built it. Everything came off our death. And every time we created something big, it was destroyed, burned down.
That's real.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
Look,
wait. I got this one. Don't worry. Wilmington, North Carolina, Eatonville, Rosewood, Tulsa, Philadelphia, Chester, Pennsylvania, Wilmington, North Carolina,
100%.
Blackwood, South Carolina,
in Jersey.
Yeah, you know, there were plenty of places. Anytime we had any infrastructure, two things happened. They decided to integrate it.
That's
Look
true.
at have you been to Central Park?
Mhm.
You know what Central Park is, right?
It's a park.
No, it's not. Central Park was actually a place called Seneca Village. It was when freed black people decided to converge in one area, and they decided to redistrict that area, even though they owned the land and the houses that they built free and clear, and they destroyed those people, displaced those people, and built a park around it. There's an old song Joni Mitchell said, "Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone." They paved paradise and put up a parking lot. They paved paradise and put up Seneca Village. In Georgia, just outside of Atlanta, there's a place called Lake Lanier. It used to be a thriving black town. They decided to kill the black folks, get rid of the ones they couldn't kill, and then people right now are voting on it every weekend.
That's real.
That's what happened to us. That's what got destroyed. And it doesn't mean that we don't keep building, but after a while, even if you look at the flea experiment, are you familiar with the flea experiment? The flea experiment.
No.
So the flea experiment goes like this. You take a bunch of fleas, you put them in a jar, you put the top on the jar, and you put holes in the top of the jar. After a while, the fleas will stop at the top of the jar because they get tired of smacking up against the top of the jar. Now, because you have conditioned the fleas that they're not going to go above the top of the jar, you take the top of the jar off and you never have to worry about them jumping out of the jar because they don't think there's anything above the jar. So
I get what you're saying.
Killed, bombed, drowned, thrown out, redistrict, redlined. Yeah, those are historical facts. I got time. We can Google it.
Sure.
Yeah, nah, I get what he's saying, but let's be real. We ain't trying to be no flea experiment. You know what I'm saying? Bro, at the end of the day, that stuff has happened in the past, and we have tried to recreate our history, and they have destroyed it. But how about we do it again? This is a new history that we have to recreate. So we are living today, and we can't live into today in old days excuses. You know what I'm saying? Or use excuses from the old times of what happened to us in punishment and whatever way that they punished us. Let's recreate history again with our belief system that we have now, in the times that we live in now. Let's recreate the culture that we live in now. I think this is an important conversation. We're gonna have a few episodes of this. I ain't gonna lie, I got a few more episodes I gotta do at this. I haven't even finished this myself. But this conversation has just been flowing that I gotta just keep making more episodes out of this and finish this whole episode out and figure out which clips I'm about to clip out of this, because this is a good episode. This is important conversation. This is what the ABN really is about. It's not even about relationships. It's about this right here. Building up community, building stronger communities. And in order to build a strong community, we must build stronger families. That's the only reason why I highlight dating. And let's get it. Let's go. This is exactly why the ABN exists. I talk relationships not because I'm stuck on dating, but because strong families are the foundation of strong communities. You don't get healthy kids without accountable adults. You don't get unity without leadership. And you don't get a culture without people willing to invest time, money, values, and accountability back into themselves. Hey man, accountability before excuses. Ain't broke no more spiritually, mentally, and systematically. This ain't broke no more movement. We building brick by brick. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.